And there's a part in this movie where I laughed too hard, and it was something that really, you know, as far as comedy goes, it's something that shouldn't really stand out as being funny, but it's the way they acted this part out was absolutely brilliant. Legends, welcome along to another little review here on Coins Age Media. We're doing another Laurel and Hardy in this episode. This one is Blotto from 1930. If I haven't said it before in these reviews, each DVD in the box set of the Laurel and Hardy collection usually has like a feature-length version and related shorts to it, but this one here is all shorts. One American speaking short and a Spanish speaking version of the same short. With you've got Blotto and Be Big and the Spanish speaking versions of it. So you've got two movies here. I haven't seen Blotto before. The only thing I did see of this movie before was the punchline ending to it, which is spectacular. Basically, in Blotto, it's married life, these two little movies, and usually it's Stan and Ollie trying to get one over on the wives is the usual sort of setup in these films. And in this short, Stanley is married and he has plans to go out and meet Oliver that evening, but he can't come up with an excuse to get away from the wife, and she wants him to stay in the house at home with her. And Oliver, of course, rings the house to see what's keeping Stanley, and they come up with the idea that Stanley should, send himself a telegram and pretend that he has been called away on important business. And Oliver also says, can you steal a bottle from the house, a bottle of alcohol, so they can drink it? He's got plans to go to a new club that's just opened up that night. And of course, they're usually skint, next to near no money. And the plan is get this bottle of alcohol and take it with them, sneak it into the club and get drunk while they're out. Now, the bottle of drink is Stanley's wife's. She's been holding it back for a special occasion. And Stanley says, okay, I can steal this bottle. She'd been none the wiser. We'll get this all sorted. We'll meet each other out front in 15 minutes. So while all these plans is happening on the phone, Stanley's wife is upstairs on the other phone listening to the whole conversation, so she knows what's happening. And while Stanley is writing himself a little telegram, and he's going to try and sneak outside the house, stash the thing out there, and then pretend that someone's came to deliver it, but it's actually him outside pressing the doorbell. And he jumps back through a window into the house, and the wife comes out with, the angry face. Why are you not answering the door? There's someone there. While Stanley was taking care of that, she was in the kitchen taking care of the bottle of alcohol. She poured it out and filled it up again with cold tea and a concoction of like Tabasco sauce and whatever she can find in the kitchen. Closes up a bottle again, hides it. So back to the sitting room. There's somebody at the door. Why didn't you answer it? So Stanley goes through the motions, answers the door, sneaks outside, closes it slightly, and pretends he's having a conversation with the guy that's delivered the telegram. And he comes in, breaks the news to the wife off the telegram. I've been called away on business, and I didn't want to go out tonight. And she's like, fine, off you go. She's playing along with the whole thing at this stage of the game. And Stanley gets out, meets Oliver. And while he's leaving, she says, goodbye, Stanley, and goodbye, Mr. Hardy. To leave that little nugget that she knows what's happening. Oliver's hiding behind a hedge. He comes out and he's like, is she wise to what we're doing here? And Stanley's like, no, she hasn't got a clue. So off they go to the club. They get in, get a couple of seats at a table, and proceed to get into this bottle and start drinking away at it. And on the first couple of sips of Oliver, you think he's realised there's something wrong with this bottle. But, he drinks a glass of it and he reacts as if, it's, disgusting and whatnot. And then he goes, do you know what? You know good liquor when you taste it. So he gets Stanley, has a glass, and he starts drinking as well. And then the cabaret starts for the evening. There's a girl comes out and dances. They're drinking away from this bottle, having a good time to themselves. And there's a part in this movie where I laughed too hard. And it was something that really, as far as comedy goes, it's something that shouldn't really stand out as being funny, but it's the way they acted this part out was absolutely brilliant. A guy comes out after the girl finishes dancing and he starts singing a song, but it's quite a sad song. And when Stan and Ollie are sitting at the table, he's standing in front of them and he's kind of like singing the song more towards them than the rest of the audience. And Stanley starts to look all sad and he starts to, tears start to come and he starts bawling because of this sad song. And Oliver gets all filled up because Stanley is crying and he's trying to comfort him and whatnot. Now that was something so simple, but just the way they acted it out was absolutely hilarious. Coming up towards the end of the film, they finish the bottle and, Stanley, he's sitting there and he starts to snigger and laugh, and that's because it's starting to sink in with him, if only the wife knew what I was doing tonight, sort of a thing. But while they've been in the club, the wife has been out and purchased a shotgun and some shells, and she's coming into the club to hunt them down. And while Stanley's having this little laughing fit to himself, she comes into the room behind him and takes up a seat at the table directly behind him. Stanley's laughing. Oliver starts to kind of laugh as well. Then they get into real hysterics over they've pulled one over on Stanley's wife. They've got away with it. And the two of them are in absolute hysterics at this point when Oliver happens to glance across and sees Stanley's wife sitting at the table and she's got this bundle in front of her all packaged up. And it is the shotgun. And she's like, what's the joke? And Stanley looks around at her and he's, instead of him starting to panic, he's in that much of a fit of hysterics that he's got away with everything that they've done that night, that he's kind of like, we've drank your booze, blah, blah, haha, starts laughing again. And the wife breaks the news to him. That's not booze. That's cold tea. And then the realisation comes across both of them that they're not, in fact, intoxicated on alcohol. It's just the idea, the placebo effect of, we've got out, we've been drinking beer that we've stolen, we're all drunk and having a good time, where they're stone cold sober. When that realisation comes across them, they stop laughing, and Oliver sniffs the bottle and he's like, cold tea. He looks across and Stanley's wife is unpackaging the shotgun. They get up, run out of the club, and Stanley's wife closing their heels. And this is the one part of the film that I've seen in, a few compilations over the years. As they run out to the street, there's a taxi sitting, and they jump into it. And Oliver's like, let's get out of here, quick, anywhere, go. They jump into the back of the taxi. The driver rips off up the street. Stanley's wife comes out with the shotgun, takes a blast at the car, and that final shot is in the street behind her, and she's got her back to the camera and you can see the car driving away off into the distance, and she takes this one shot at it and the whole car just disintegrates in the middle of the street. Such a great wee stunt at the end of that movie. Just those little slapstick moments there with cars and Laurel and Hardy films are always brilliant, and this one here is, it's one that's as I say, I've seen it in compilations over the years, but it's just one of these things. It's just one shot from the shotgun as a complete destruction and devastation of the car. It's absolutely brilliant. And she marches up the street to do whatever she's going to do to the two of them. That's where the film ends off. This is actually very, very good, this film. And I should really say at the start of these reviews, spoiler alert, because I pretty much devastated that entire movie for you if you haven't seen it before. But in saying that, there's a lot of slapstick comic moments scattered throughout this film that I did not cover. So by no means is this film completely ruined for you. There's a lot of stuff in there I didn't even touch on. But that is the basic gist of this little film. Absolutely brilliant. This is definitely one that I will not skip over the next time I go through this box set. Oh, definitely. The entire purchase price of the entire box set is worth it for that one film on its own.